Welcome back, dear viewer. Prepare to come face to face with the original mad scientist.
He's alive!
Witness a man turn into an insect. And encounter terrifying alien life forms. All of these horrors make up the spine-chilling world of science fiction. The overriding force of the 20th century was the unstoppable march of science. Darwin's theories of evolution had finally gained popular acceptance. We split the atom and conquered the moon. Yet the more we uncovered, the more reasons we had to fear.
The sci-fi movie gave us a whole new galaxy of things to worry about. You had the mad scientists making evil out of jars, you had aliens coming in from other planets to, like, eradicate the whole world. We had a whole load of new things to be completely petrified over.
It's basically fear of technology, it's fear of the future, it's fear of science.
And science fiction's reign of fear would begin with megalomaniac scientists recklessly meddling with the sacred essence of life itself.
Scientists dabbling with God's creation? Only bad can happen out of this.
Mad science.
Released the same year as Dracula, Universal's Frankenstein was a terrifying parable of the mad scientist out of control. Blasphemous, macabre, and truly shocking, Frankenstein would begin science fiction's march of fear.
He's just resting, waiting for a new life to come.
The word Frankenstein is the mad doctor, it's the mad scientist. It's the concept of science and knowledge as evil.
Think of it, the brain of a dead man, waiting to live again in a body I made with my own hands. My own hands.
You have Dr. Frankenstein actually forgetting his humanity, believing in a sense that he is someone who can take up the role of God, usurp the deity. And this is what makes it profoundly disturbing for people then.
I mean, he brought dead tissue back to life, which is seen as fucking God.
1930s cinema audiences had never come under such a barrage of blasphemy before, and to compound the shock, Dr. Frankenstein would utter a line even more unthinkable than the imagery.
He's alive! Oh, in the name of God! Now I know what it feels like to be God!
Now I know what it feels like to be God. That was too on the nose and too blasphemous at that time, so I think they looped another line.
And the creation itself would strike fear into 1930s America. The polar opposite of the supernatural Dracula, Frankenstein's monster would represent the walking embodiment of all of science's ills.
What we have there, in essence, is a kind of a combination of a robot and an ape, something fallen from grace. You know, a technological Superman somehow going down the Darwinian tubes.
The villagers are all scared of what they don't know, so they torture him and they try and kill him.
The whole point of that movie is there are things man are not meant to know. And you are not supposed to fool around with this stuff.
Unfortunately, no one was listening, and the mad scientist would become a staple of the sci-fi scary movie. And come the 1970s, surprise, surprise, his main obsession was sex. These evil man-made parasites would indiscriminately penetrate anything that moved, turning their helpless victims into sex-crazed maniacs.
The pivotal scene in Shivers is the scene where Barbara Steele is taking a bath, and this thing comes up out of the drain of the tub and, you know, quote, enters her.
This penis thing makes everyone incredibly horny.
In the 70s, where it was generally assumed, I don't know if it was true or not, but it was generally assumed that everyone was having too much sex, it was sort of the ultimate horror film.
As we entered the 1980s, the mad scientist movie would come full circle. Themes began by Frankenstein of man messing with Mother Nature would gain new significance.
You've ever wanted to look beyond the clouds and the stars? Or to know what causes the trees to bud?
The research into genetics, the very building blocks of life, were advancing, creating a new era of fear.
What can really happen? You know, I mean, what, you know, should we mess with this stuff?
These deep anxieties about tampering with our biological makeup were grotesquely realized in The Fly, a tale of mad scientist Jeff Goldblum's protracted and gruesome decay after a botched experiment melts his DNA with that of a common fly.
The Fly actually shows the complete disintegration of a body over the entire running time of the movie, so that you're never more than 30 seconds away from watching more of Jeff Goldblum's face fall off.
My ear. And it's brilliant, and it's so horrific, that idea of horror from within, the idea of your body turning against you. It just preys on that, like, just something deep within the psyche.
As Goldblum's DNA is gradually overwhelmed by that of the flies, the film preys on a very common human fear, the fear of degenerative illness.
That's disgusting.
It terrifies us all. That's a very real, you know, cancer, diseases that eat us, you know, they're very real fears for all of us. So to see them realised, or to see them writ large like that, you know, it's scary and fascinating at the same time.
It takes this central concept that's really been with us forever, that there's something dehumanizing about our technology. There is this dark side, and Cronenberg makes it so literal and so disgusting. I mean, what more can you do to a human being but reduce them to an insect?
The end is nigh.